Hello everyone. In the previous videos we talked about the messenger servant of Yahweh or Allah that has been promised, the awaited one. And in this video I would like to talk to you and teach you about the return of the Messiah, the second coming of the Messiah, Jesus Christ, son of Maryam, in the book of Isaiah. And then at the very end, I'm going to show you one verse also from the Quran to verify and close and wrap it up. So let's look at Isaiah 61. The Spirit of the Lord is on me, because the Lord has anointed me to preach good news to the poor. So he's right off the bat, the chapter is giving you the address that who is this talking? This is the anointed one. What does that mean? In Arabic, it means the Messiah. Messiah means someone who has been anointed. In Hebrew, it is Mashah. Yahweh Oti. It means Mashah is basically in Arabic is Masah. Yahweh has anointed me. Yahweh has made me the Messiah, made me the anointed one. But you should ask yourself, anointed to do what? Why is he the anointed one? In the Old Testament, various characters are considered as anointed one. But how come the Messiah is the anointed one? What has he been anointed to do? And to understand that, you have to read the rest of that. So, to preach good news to the poor. He has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim freedom for the captives and release from darkness for the prisoners. And this is important. You have to understand this. To proclaim the year of the Lord's favor and the day of vengeance of our God, to comfort all who mourn. Proclaiming the year of the Lord's favor to who? To the community of the true believers at the end time. So if you have watched the previous videos, you know what I'm talking about. All the nations of the world powers, will gather together with their armies to destroy the community of the true believers, to annihilate it, to wipe that community off the face of the earth. And atrocities will be committed against this community. And it is at this point that the prayers of Allah's promised messenger of the covenant and the community will be answered, and Allah will send Jesus Christ, son of Maryam, for his second coming, and he will proclaim the year of the Lord's favor to this community. And at the same time, he will proclaim the day of vengeance of our God against the nations, against the world powers that have gathered together against this community. So in one day, our Lord, our Creator, will destroy these nations. And the chief amongst these nations will be completely destroyed. It will no longer even be a nation. It will no longer exist. And provide for those who grieve in Zion. What is Zion? Zion is the community of the elect, the community of the true believers, to bestow on them a crown of beauty instead of ashes, the oil of gladness instead of mourning, and a garment of praise instead of a spirit of despair. They will be called oaks of righteousness, a planting of the Lord for the display of his glory. Another thing I want to show you, I want you to know, is to bring good news. In Hebrew, it's levaser, which is the exact same word that is used actually in Arabic. It's in Arabic they pronounce it as leobasher. Here it's leovaser. So it's literally the same thing. It's leobasher. It means for me to give that glad tidings, to give good news. Quran uses it as well. It's when you are talking to someone and giving them good news and talking to them very nicely. Now let's look at Isaiah 41, verse number 27. I was the first to tell Zion, look, here they are. I gave to Jerusalem one that brings good tidings. So now you should know, based on Isaiah 61, who this is talking about, right? This is talking about Jesus Christ, son of Maryam, the Messiah. Now let's look at Isaiah 52. Let's start with verse number 7. How beautiful on the mountains are the feet of one who brings good news, who proclaims peace, who brings good tidings, who proclaims salvation, who says to Zion, your God reigns. As I mentioned, this is after the nations have gathered. They are bombing, they are destroying the community of the true believers mercilessly, without any compassion. They want to destroy it and annihilate it once and for all. And it is at this point that Allah's promised messenger, servant of the covenant, and the believers in that community will pray. What will happen to us? We are done. We are doomed. We are about to be completely destroyed. And when they are all so despaired, so disappointed and hopeless, and it is at this point that Allah will send the Messiah together with his angelic army, and they will bring good news. They will proclaim peace, and they will proclaim salvation, and they will say to this community of the true believers that don't worry, your God reigns. Your God rules. Yahweh reigns. Allah rules. Listen, your watchmen lift up their voices. Together they shout for joy. When the Lord returns to Zion, they will see it with their own eyes. Burst into songs of joy together, you ruins of Jerusalem. For the Lord has comforted his people. He has redeemed Jerusalem. The Lord will lay bare his holy arm in the sight of all the nations, and all the ends of the earth will see the salvation of our God. These two verses tell you that at the end time, Jerusalem will be under occupation. And when Allah comes, he will save it. He will redeem it all to once and for all. And all the wars in the Holy Land will cease. Now let's read the verse number 15 of the book of Prophet NAHUM. Look, there on the mountains, the feet of one who brings good news, who proclaims peace. Celebrate your festivals, O Judah, and fulfill your vows. No more will the wicked invade you. They will be completely destroyed. Judah here represents the community of the true believers, because at the time of Prophet NAHUM, Judah was where all the believers had gathered, was that community of the true believers. And this is why, if you read verse number 159 of chapter 4 in the Quran, it says, and there is none from the people of the book, but that they will surely believe in him. In who? In Jesus Christ, son of Maryam, the Messiah, before his death. And on the day of resurrection, he will be against them a witness. And obviously you have to read the verse before that, that Allah informs us that they did not manage to kill him, but Allah raised him to himself. Yahweh raised him to himself, and he has to come back. He must come back to fulfill his mission. What is his mission? He's the anointed one. He's been anointed to do what? He's been anointed to proclaim peace, to proclaim the year of the Lord's favor to the community of the true believers, and the day of vengeance against the nations, because Allah will lay bare, Allah will show his holy arm, his power in the sight of all the nations of the world and all the ends of the earth. All the coastlands will see the power of the Lord and how he will save, intervene, and save and redeem the community of the true believers in the Holy Land in the Middle East. As I mentioned in the previous video, the messenger servant of the covenant is a completely different character, different person than the Messiah. If you read Isaiah 42, Isaiah 49, 52, 53, and I have videos on all of them. I explain the true meaning of all these chapters. You will see that he's talking about a servant, a promised messenger servant of the Lord. He's no miracle worker like Jesus Christ was. He's not a charismatic person like Jesus Christ was. There will be nothing special about him. Unlike Jesus Christ, that had a lot of special things about him. Being born of a virgin, he talked as a child, he was a powerful preacher, and people actually loved Jesus Christ. When he was preaching, when he enters Jerusalem, normal people loved him. It was only the Jewish clerics that hated him and wanted to kill him. But with the messenger servant of the covenant, that's not how it's going to be. Peace and blessings to all of you.